Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Bleacher Takes. Sorry for the a little tardiness. Full transparency, the producer has made a mistake. Um, we've just been chatting, having fun, and forgot to go live. Um, but glad to have you all in here with us. We got old Smiley Nate back. We got old Happy Josh back, and we got terrific Timmy in here as well. We got the three. What? We had we had the three musketeers up in here. Nate, bro, you need to lock it in, okay? Listen, we got a lot to talk about. Quick thoughts. Brittany Griner,
Oh
plead
God!
guilty. We're gonna we're gonna get her back in the States, huh?
Hey, we'll see.
Garner a trade. We're not going to talk too much about that because, again, politics, first of all, and second of all, it's just something that we can't really predict because honestly, I'm not going to get into the whole politics of the thing. But if they want to do a trade, cool, bring her back. Good for her and her family. But again, she did break the law and she is facing a lot of time in Russian prison. Nothing.
10 years, right? Isn't it like 10 years?
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane. Like, especially for somebody, an athlete like that, where they only have a window in which they can earn them money. Like she's not going to be able to play basketball at a WNBA level in 10 years.
No.
So it's like,
and I'm telling you right now, the Phoenix Mercury are missing her. So
yeah, we're going to talk about some WNBA scores tonight. No, we're not. But
I don't even know who's it.
I know that one girl, Sabrina Ionuski or whatever, is doing legendary things.
That's big news. That is big news.
Mm-hmm.
First 30-point triple-double in WNBA history.
Hold on. Before we get past this real quick, Josh, who are you taking in one-on-one, her or Chet Holmgren?
Her.
I love it. I love it.
Hating on Chet, man.
Like, is that even a question?
I love it. Now. I know. I was just waiting to hear you. But yeah,
I've been gone for like 3 weeks, man. All I've heard is all that we've been talking about in the text chat is Chet Holmgren every 2 seconds about summer league. God. And then Kenny Lofton Jr., who looks like he went to
absolutely. After that game,
like
Chet was.
Looks like he just mashed Taco John's on his way to the summer league game. Threw down some potato Lay's with cheese sauce.
That looked like me out there.
Volleyballing.
That looked like when I played pickup basketball with Aiden.
Hey, Chet needed to take some notes, though.
I know, but we can't act like Giannis didn't look like a little twig when he came into the league, too.
Giannis was also 6'9".
It wasn't a twig, not like that.
Yes, he was.
I just sent Josh a video.
I mean,
in
all honesty,
compared to what he looks like now,
he did weigh 190 pounds.
But if he can score a bucket, though. Look at KD.
But the quickness is like
bucket.
You're not comparing Chet and KD.
You're right. I'm not, because Chet hasn't even been in the league for more than 3 games.
He sat tonight for rest, so it's been 2 games.
Well, yeah, because
he got absolutely babied the night before.
No, he's an up-and-coming superstar, so they don't want to injure him.
He's an up-and-coming superstar.
Too. Yeah.
I mean, the dude is a 90 overall in freaking 2K now over a 27-point game in Summer League. Like, oh my gosh, bro.
Hey,
absolute crazy.
You better be sipping on that juice, that Chet Holmgren
Listen,
juice.
hey, I've said, I hope he's good, but dude.
No, you don't. You hope he's
terrible. I do.
Lie to me.
You're preying on his downfall.
No, I'm not. I really.
Fibula breaks in half when Kenny Lofton runs into a big old whopper body.
Josh is like, this man fits on the Memphis Grizzlies. Them and their quote-unquote dynasty.
Oh, man. If he went to the Memphis Grizzlies, bro, I would have a field day, bro.
Hey, I heard on the radio today that Grizzlies they had him as the
doing absolutely nothing.
Number 3 best team in the West with everybody coming back healthy.
What are you listening to?
ESPN.
Jump 98.7.
Freaking John Morant podcast.
Whatever it was.
On the Draymond Green podcast.
He didn't even like it. Hey, the Grizzlies, though, That's the closest stadium near me. And I know we're gonna get to it later, but if my Nets implode, I might be rocking some new gear next year.
Good grief.
Considering you on the golf course wearing Toronto Maple Leafs hats, it does not surprise me if you be showing up in some other dude's jersey.
What's the first jersey you're
Maple
buying?
Leafs hat. What do I have a Maple Leafs hat on a golf course?
You were wearing a
Nate,
Maple
you
Leafs
literally
hat.
FaceTimed me with a Maple Leaf
Oh,
hat.
that was actually Toronto Blue Jays because I have like every MLB cap or most of them. That was the Toronto Blue Jays, fellas. I hate to break it to you.
What?
I like to support
Show me the hat.
With
I
the
like to
leaf
support
on it?
all-
It was a leaf, bro.
All right, hold on.
Dude, Josh, you know it was a leaf, right?
It was a leaf, but I mean,
Yeah.
if this is a Blue Jays hat, bro, we can't say much. We're gonna have to eat our words, but
I know, but I'm just gonna say it was the wrong hat. He's showing us the wrong hat.
if he does, bro,
He's capping. Hold on.
Sonny, get
Sorry, guys. We got to figure this out real quick because wait. Oh no.
All right, you see it? You see it? Woo!
huh? I
So it's
seen
a
that
leaf
before.
for Toronto, huh?
American League gimbal.
Huh. Well, so now you're declaring
like-
war on me or something?
I like to support all my AL East teams. You know,
You have a Yankee hat?
I do not have a Yankee hat. That's what I almost bought one the other day.
Yep. All right. That's enough of him. That's enough of him.
No, I almost bought one because I wanted like a darker hat, and I ended up buying Chicago White Sox.
That was a great
Yeah.
decision there. They're going to be on sale
Awesome
soon.
choice. Yeah,
Like, I know
Wait.
guys who are selling them $5 for a dozen.
yeah. You wait a couple more months, man. You're probably gonna be on the clearance rack.
Bag bud.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, what are we talking about?
You should you should have waited until October, November when you could have bought a New York Yankees. Yeah. Wait till you get the New York Yankees 2022 World Series cap. All right.
I'd rather have that. I already picked them in the World Series. What are we on right now? Are we on Griner, Chet, Grizzlies?
We haven't even started.
We're on
yet.
whatever we want to be on. All right. We're tonight's a little unorthodox. All right. We're talking. We think we're live. We're not live. Now we're live. Now we're not talking about anything that has to do with sports. We're talking about hats. But
Caps.
I do want to talk a little bit. Josh, feel free to
Yeah.
chime in every once in a while here. But
Oh,
got a couple hockey offseason news.
is this a Pittsburgh Pirates hat?
Put
No,
the hats
Pumas
away.
hats.
Yeah, there you go, Josh. He knows.
Yeah, I
the golf.
got you.
I always
knows
think
the
that's a
golf hats.
Pittsburgh Pirates hat, dude.
No, it's a Puma.
Every time
It's
you
a
wear
golf
that, I
hat.
think it's Pittsburgh Pirates.
It's what Bryson DeChambeau
No,
wears.
I know that.
Yep. Favorite golfer.
But I see it, and with the yellow of your light, it almost looks like a yellow pea. I think it's Pittsburgh every time.
Why in the
But-
world would I ever rock anything Pittsburgh?
You just said you want to buy a hat of every MLB team.
I mean, yeah, but I'm not that crazy. I mean, that's like the last hat I buy when they're actually good.
Wait, you'd buy a Cubs hat over that?
I didn't buy a Cubs. I bought a White Sox.
I'm done with you. Anyways, hockey offseason. I don't even know if I can get through this with you, Nate. I might just have to cut the whole hockey thing out. All right.
I wouldn't
Fine.
be opposed.
We don't have to
Goodness.
talk about hockey very long anyway.
No, we're not. But we are going to go over a couple things. Nate, we have not seen you since the Lightning lost in the Stanley Cup. I just want your quick take on, do you think this is the end of the Lightning's run of dominance?
No, I still think they'll be good. I think they were tired, and the Avalanche came at them basically with a lot of different things. I think the big players didn't step up for the Lightning in the way that they have in the past. And I don't know, a few close calls though, and they were definitely in that series. So that's why it's hard for me to say, like, let's say they did get called for that 6-man overtime where they had 6 people on the ice. It was close. It was a stretch, but let's say that does happen and it gets called back and they tie up the series, or, it could have been close and they played well. I mean, they've won 2 chips for a reason. So, I still think that they're going to be good next year, no doubt. But the Avalanche, I mean, their team is insane, man. But they might be losing Darcy, but they got your backup goalie in Gordon.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, to be Igor's backup, I mean, it's pretty nice
well, yeah,
title to have. But yeah, you think Avalanche are the next dynasty though, or do you think that they'll be they're gonna implode some?
I mean, they're great. Hockey's one of those sports though where it's like, it's not like it's unusual for two teams to win like back to back. Like it's not one of those sports where it's like basketball or football where you just kind of expect the same.
Basketball's like yeah,
certain teams can just flip flop. Like you can have,
more
kind of
like
like baseball, like with the Giants when it was like every odd year they were good and every even year they were like poopy. You know what I mean? Like hockey can be like that too, in the sense where you get a hot goalie, you get some hot players, you get some chemistry on some different lines that you didn't have, and you roll with it. And in the playoffs, it's a whole different game too. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think
the Avalanche are a great team. They're going to be a great team next year. I like what that dude said at the end of the game when they asked McKinnon. No, who'd they ask? Rantanen? No, Landeskog. I don't know. They asked somebody on the Avalanche. They're like, "What's your secret?" Or what does everybody have to do to
I
compete
think it
with
was
you?
Landeskog.
And he was like, "Find you a Cale Makar," because dude solidified himself as for sure a top 3 player, in the league, if not top 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I don't know. I think there's a lot of teams
I
that are going
think
to be really good next year, and I think
yeah, the Lightning have made some big moves. They re-signed Nick Paul, a 7-year deal, and they traded Ryan McDonough away to Nashville.
McDonough, yeah, I saw that.
That was a pretty surprising trade. I mean, I know they're trying to do some stuff with the cap, but no, I mean he's a great veteran defensive player. But I mean the Avalanche haven't done a whole lot, and it looks like they're going to lose Darcy Kemper. They weren't. It didn't seem like they were completely sold on him anyway, being their starting goalie from here on out. In the playoffs, they kind of went towards their backup a lot, and wasn't like their ride or die goalie. And they just got Gorgiev from the Rangers, traded a lot of picks to do so, and so it looks like Kemper's on his way out. A couple other goalies too. Jack Campbell of the Maple Leafs. I mean, he's been a top tier goalie the past couple of years. It's surprising to see where he'll go. There's been rumblings, that he'll go elsewhere and leave the Maple Leafs because Maple Leafs have some cap space that they have to try to maneuver through as well. And then the Blues, man, Ville Husso, I think he earned himself quite a bit of money this year. You think you see him coming back to the Blues, or you see him leaving?
Probably not. I don't think he's going to go. And I forgot his name, but we have another guy that is a good backup. And I think Bennington will have a better year. I know he was bad, but then in the playoffs, he kind of earned his spot back with his play. So I think he's definitely going to show out for us next year. At least I hope. So we'll see, though. But yeah, I think Ville played well enough to get him a top spot for sure.
Yeah. And we had a big trade come through today. You want to tell me all about that?
Well, Blackhawks, there's actually 2 trades that they did. They sent Alex DeBrincat, one of their top scorers, in exchange for the number 7 pick in this draft, 2nd round pick and a 3rd round pick in 2024. So 1st and 2nd this year, and then a 3rd round in 2024. And he's going to the Ottawa Senators to play with none other than Brady Tkachuk in that team. And they're a good young and upcoming squad. And Alex DeBrincat he's been in the league a few years. He's young as well. I didn't really understand this one because Alex DeBrincat is somebody you can build around because, dude just knows how to put the puck in the back of the net. He scored 41 goals, I believe, is what I saw last year. So, dude can play for sure. And then they shipped off Kirby Doc, defenseman, in exchange for the number 13 pick and a 3rd round pick in this draft as well to the Canadiens. So really the Blackhawks are loading in a bunch of picks, trying to do what they can to basically rebuild. Honestly, they've kind of reached they kind of know, I guess it's the Blues and the Avalanche, it's their year for where it's their conference, I guess. They're the main ones. And the Dallas Stars are a great team as well that'll probably be right back in it. So I think they're just in rebuild mode. So those are two big trades for sure. The DeBrincat one of the Senators is huge.
Yeah, and the only other thing I want to touch on before we move on to the NBA, Penguins have made some big moves, trying to keep together a core that seems like it's going to break apart. They re-signed Casey DeSmith, goalie, and then they signed Chris Letang to a 6-year deal. That guy, absolute stud for them. One of their absolute best players. Obviously he was one of the top, 5-10 free agents this year. So for them to be able to retain him and get him on a 6-year deal is pretty good for Pittsburgh. I don't like it as a Rangers fan, but it is something that it's good for them for sure.
Pittsburgh's always around, man. It's insane. And yeah, Chris Letang is a great player and had an NHL career high for himself with 68 points last season. And I don't know. I mean, even though he's 35 years old, hasn't he won 3 Stanley Cups too? I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
All with Pittsburgh, but man, it's insane that he's pocketed in the bread, but well deserved for sure.
Yep. Yeah, he's got 3 rings, but yeah, been pretty busy for them. They're able to retain a lot of their guys. So, but Josh, welcome back. We're going to talk some NBA here. Couple things of note. We went through a lot of the free agents and a lot of the signings that happened on our last stream. Josh and I did. We had a lot to talk about because it was day 1 of the signings.
Mm-hmm.
So we still have some deals that happen, some smaller deals that I think make an impact on playoff teams. There hasn't been a lot of like big signings or big trades, but there has been a lot of extensions, and there's been some. But first one I want to touch on an extension to Zion Williamson. Got a 5-year, $193+ million extension with the Pelicans. What are you guys' thoughts on this?
It was like a rookie max, wasn't it? Was that what it was?
It's a rookie max, and it can turn into more with better performance, obviously. That's how those max contracts work.
I mean, I'd like to just see him play, honestly.
I
know the dude's super athletic. We know that. We've seen the videos. I mean, our eyes don't lie to us. And I know that supposedly he's gotten in better shape. There was a little period where people thought that, him and Kenny Lofton were meeting up at Taco John's for a bit. So
I don't think those are rumors. I think, that was
I think that actually happened.
So they're
man.
We're kind of worried. But I mean, when you're that much of a, what do you call it? Like, you're in the paint and you're
a manimal
jumping, 40-inch vertical, and you got all that weight coming down on your knees, and I don't know, man, it just makes people nervous. Makes me nervous to know that. I mean, and he's so huge too in the sense that he's strong too. Like he's not just a big dude that's overweight. He's super athletic, jump out the building. So I mean, he's got to take care of his body if he wants to play long term and be an impact in this league. He's got to take good care of his body. But I don't know. I'm just excited to see him play. I hope that he is healthy.
Well, and what's crazy is, they had to give him this because of what the potential he does have and what box office he can bring to your team. Just having him on the team brings a lot. But we also forget, we talk about the potential of this guy, but when he was on the court, man, he only played 24 games in his rookie season, but he averaged 22.5 points per game, 6 rebounds. And then the year after, his second year, he played 60 games. He played 61 games that year, averaged 33 minutes per game, and was dropping 27 a game. He had over 7 assists per game, almost 7 rebounds, almost 4 assists, a steal, and a block per game. I mean, and his player efficiency rating, he was a top 10 player.
Yeah.
With his player efficiency rating the way it was. And then obviously he didn't play at all last year. But when this guy's on the court, I mean, you can't tell me this guy doesn't have top 5 talent in the league.
No, I mean, he definitely deserves the money. I'm kind of kind of in the same boat with Nate when it comes to like his health long term. I don't really. I mean, obviously injuries are a part of the game, but at the same time, with just the way his body, like his just physical attributes are, with him being a heavier player and the stress that he puts on his legs with the way he could jump out the gym, I as long as he's in shape, then I think it's a good signing. But at the same time, it's kind of risky giving a player that's already had injuries with his knees and the way he plays that type of money. So
Right. Well, we kind of also have to think of it along the terms of what the 76ers did with Joel Embiid. Embiid had some troubles early in his career too with injuries, and they banked on it. They gave him a max and said, you know what, we're banking on this guy's potential. And although there's been some years where they've lost because Joel Embiid wasn't available this year, I mean, the guy was an MVP candidate all year long.
Paid off for sure. Yeah.
So, and I think they got to look at it the same way. You know, we have to extend this guy, otherwise he's going to leave, and somebody's going to give him the money.
Yeah,
and we don't want to miss out on what could be, you know, a Joel Embiid plus potential player.
Yeah,
when he's been on the court, I mean, 27 points per game in his second season.
Yeah, you have. I mean, the guy deserves the money. Like, you have to pay him the money, like you said. But at the same time, there's just obviously risk that's involved with this type of, extension. I mean, it's a lot of money to give somebody, but
for sure,
at the same time, the guy definitely deserves it. Like, when he plays, he's dominant, and I think that as long as he stays healthy, he could obviously continue that.
Yeah, and I liked it for him. Obviously, with players, I'm never gonna harp on a player for taking the money.
Yeah,
but you got to think of an organizational standpoint. You know, they're really banking on this guy's future, and just, man, if he can get healthy, he can get that weight down, he can keep it down, man. He'll be. I mean, we'll be talking about him for the next 10 years. You know, that dude. So hopefully, I really like him. I like his personality. I think he's a good guy, and I just love watching him play. So I'm excited to see what happens with him. I'm excited to see him healthy this year, hopefully. So a couple big free agent signings. John Wall went to the Clippers. That was kind of a done deal, but it finally actually happened. A 2-year deal. You guys think this pushes the needle for the Clippers? Josh, I know you were higher on John Wall than I am.
Yeah, no, I think it. I mean, none of us nobody's seen John Wall play, so we don't know how he's going to play, what he's been working on, what he's improved on, what he hasn't improved on, and so on and so forth. But at the same time,
good player. He's a solid player.
Yeah, if he could do, honestly, I think it's an upgrade from Reggie Jackson. Like, you can't look at this signing and be, say, what the heck are the Clippers doing? Like,
especially it's 2 years, $13 million. It's not like
it's a team-friendly deal.
Yeah,
and I think it could make them a championship caliber team. I mean, they're already a championship caliber team with George and Kawhi, but at the same time, adding a player with like John Wall that could, I think he can still drop 20 and average 20. If not, I think it's going to be in the high teens, and he's going to get a lot of one-on-one balls. So
I think it's two thoughts on this. So one, yes, he hasn't played a full season since 2019. He was hurt all 2020 or 2019, 2020, 2020 to 2021, the bubble. He played 40 games. He averaged 20 points and was averaging 7 assists per game.
Yeah.
Then last year missed all the season. So yeah, I think that there is a way that he comes back and he's rested, fully healthy, and is the third option on that offense. Behind George and Kawhi. But the thing that really scares me is Kawhi coming off big injuries, Paul George coming off big injuries, John Wall coming off big injuries. Your big three, you don't really have a bunch of durability there. So, I mean, if they stay healthy, man, they're nasty. And you're looking at a true, top rival in the West to take out the Warriors. But there's also a way that you could see them finishing in the bottom cellar of the Western Conference with a bunch of injured guys, because they're banking on their team being led by a bunch of injured players.
Yeah. I don't really think that. I mean, I see what you're saying, but I don't think that we really necessarily need to worry about Paul George as much as we should be worried about Kawhi and John Wall.
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
I think
Kawhi's have been more recent for sure.
yeah,
Um,
Paul George. I mean, he came back and played a little bit towards the end of the year and was looked like that dude never missed a beat. Like he went out there and absolutely balled out. So
and some
I
of his
really
stuff have been freak injuries too, not like
yeah
anything that's like super common. Kawhi's I'm definitely more worried about, and John Wall's for sure. But I mean, you have to note the history Paul George has.
yeah.
But I don't
And
know. I mean,
I don't know.
I like the signing. I do.
Yeah.
And there's not a whole lot of risk here. I think it's a lot of reward. So
Yeah.
I like it for them. I like it for him. I think it really can change his legacy and can really change the Clippers and put them over the top if it all clicks. But Nate, your Nets signed old TJ Warren to be a poor man's Kevin Durant. What do you think about that? What do you think about that contract? Good old TJ Warren. He's a bucket.
He's coming off an
Guy
injury
can
too,
score.
isn't he?
Yep, he missed I think all last year.
All last year, yeah, that's what I thought.
I mean,
Nate, you like that? You're gonna make you tune into some Nets games to see old TJ dropping 25 and losing by 15, 20 to the Knicks.
if the Nets lose
You
Kevin
signing up
Durant,
for that?
I don't even think that we'll see any national TV time at all. Because when we lose
maybe
Kevin
when
Durant,
maybe
we
when the
are
Lakers play the
irrelevant
Nets and
in
Kevin
the
Durant and
league.
Kyrie are on the Lakers and Russell Westbrook and Ben Simmons are leading the Nets and shooting 0 for 40 from 3.
They're leading the NBA in replaced backboards at that point because of all the hard bricks that they will be tossing up at the glass.
You still got Seth Curry though.
Hey, that's
Maybe.
No, Seth Curry's
Russ has to lead something, man. He's not the triple-double machine anymore, so he's got to lead in something. He's got to be. He's like, you know what? If I can't drop triple-doubles anymore, I can at least have the worst 3-point percentage in the league. Like I can do that.
I mean,
So
I'll get on the Nets later. We'll talk about the Nets later. But the TJ Warren, I mean, I guess it's a low risk, it could be a high reward.
yeah, it's a 1-year deal.
Dude used to ball off for the Pacers, and
He was a bucket, man. During that the COVID season, man, that guy couldn't be stopped. He looked like one of the best players in the bubble.
I just can't really do it. When you talk about Nets right now, I just kind of dumbfounded. So moving on.
Yeah, life's rough for Nate Dugal coming off a NFL Super Bowl season, and other teams are pretty decent. But, the Nets, man, life's tough. Thomas Bryant, 1-year deal to the Lakers. I think it adds size. It's a good signing for the Lakers. He's obviously not going to be a huge rotation player, but somebody who will get them in and out. And he's not going to be a starter.
I think this
You think
is
he's a starter?
Yeah,
I think he played Indiana. Indiana.
No, he played for the Wizards, didn't he?
No, Indiana. Like
I think he went to college at Indiana. Yeah.
Oh,
Went to college in Indiana. Yeah.
No, I think I'm going to tell you. I think he started.
I don't think it really matters who starts at center for the Lakers, but
no, this is why I think he started.
Everything else is gonna.
He's what's his name? Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis has said that he don't like being the 5.
Anthony Davis ain't going to be a Laker.
Oh, okay. Well, we're saying if he is. If he is, I think Thomas Bryant starts.
And they say, okay, adding Thomas Bryant is going to fix this team. I'm just saying.
Yeah, the Lakers will be.
Didn't they sign another center?
Yeah,
Damian Jones.
I'm
telling you right now, yeah, Thomas Bryant's starting. You don't sign 2. They're the same, pretty much the same center. You don't sign those 2 to have them both as backups. That makes 0 sense.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're not going to play more than 20 minutes a game, though. The 2 are going to just swap it.
Yeah, okay, okay. But
you know what I mean? No. Like he's not going to be like a big piece for the Lakers. He's going to be a guy who's going to come in and grab rebounds and swap them out with.
Literally, he's going to be a loony for the Lakers.
Yeah, they're going to do the same thing.
Yeah,
so that's what I was meaning. It's not like a move the needle type signing. Joe Ingles to the Bucks. I really like this signing. 1-year deal. A guy sharpshooter who can just come in and play and pop in the corner for Giannis. And fit with that squad pretty well. I really like that signing for them. Gary Payton to the Blazers.
He got paid.
He did get paid, and I knew he was going to. Those guys who come off winning a championship like that always get paid. Mm-hmm. They always get the money. And that's just how it happens. I think it's good for not for the salary cap because they definitely overpaid for him, but a guy who they can put on the court with Damian Lillard and try to take away some of the defense off of him. But again, Damian Lillard is more of an undersized guard in today's NBA, and Gary Payton's kind of undersized too. So as much as defense as he can take away, you still can't hide the fact that they're both 6'2" or under. I don't know. Maybe he'll be his backup, but Damian Lillard is going to play 35, 40 minutes a game, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Dude got a ring and just dipped, huh?
Okay, you were calling out Malik Monk for not chasing the ring, but this guy got his ring. Now it's his time to get paid.
I know, but you haven't.
You want all the rings.
Yeah, you haven't. Is that not your goal? I don't understand. I guess we're just like, I don't know. I guess I'm just looking at this like differently. I mean,
no, there's different ways to look at it. Like there's the competitor that wants all the rings, but then it's also like, okay, I realize I'm never going to be more than just a rotational player, and I'm never going to get paid more than I will this year. It's my walk year. I just got a ring, so you turned down that $30 million offer.
Gary Payton's a good player, though. I mean,
he is very good.
No, he's
very good, but he's not.
He's had difficulties
paying him
fitting in a system, though. Like he has had difficulties fitting in a system, and like that's why he hasn't been well known.
Well, that's why the Warriors got him. The Warriors got him really cheap.
The Warriors got him very cheap, and he fit in that system. So it's like you fit in that system. I don't know why he didn't just stay, but I mean,
exactly.
Whatever.
Like the moolah.
He's a fan favorite in that organization.
Unless he knows that, Dame's been on the phone with KD and he's about to play with KD and Dame. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure Gary Payton's in the know on that. No. But, no, if that's the case, Gary Payton's going to play in Brooklyn. If that's the case.
I don't want to even freaking want GP. He can stay where he wants.
What about him and TJ Warren? You don't think they can lead you to 15 wins?
No, I want more.
You want more? Boy, we just gave you James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant, and you couldn't do nothing with them. Come on.
Yeah, you gave me.
Take your little Nets shorts and go burn them and just go get some Grizzlies shorts, okay?
I'm about to. We'll get to that later. A
big signing I also like, Dante DiVincenzo to the Warriors.
That's huge.
This is a huge signing. A guy who is criminally underrated. He had some injuries, but whenever he was on top of his game with the Bucks, I mean, really good 3-and-D player. And that's exactly what the Warriors.
Where did he go to after the Bucks?
Didn't he play was it the Kings? Or was one of those
I
teams?
think it was Kings. I was about to say, I know he went to them and you never heard of the dude. So
I think he got hurt. But again, I mean, this guy to the Warriors, man, I saw that and I was like, man, this is one of the most underrated and one of the best signings of the offseason. Yeah, he played for Sacramento last year, only played 25 games. But I mean, he's a 3-and-D player. I mean, the guy shoots threes and plays defense.
Literally I think he's going to take over that Gary Payton role. So
yeah, what fit?
And if that's
for this guy?
Yeah, and if that's the case, then that's a huge upgrade for the Warriors, and that just makes them that much more dangerous. So
yeah, and they got him for 2 years, $9.3 million. I mean, $4 million a year, and Payton just got almost 10.
Yeah,
so
huge.
Zach LaVine signed back with the Bulls. We knew this was going to happen. We were just waiting for it to happen. 5 years, $215. He got the max. Not a whole lot to say there. They're just going to run it back and try to be the same team again, which they looked really good when they were all healthy. And we talked about that last week, Josh. But, yeah, big signing for them. Big signing for the Knicks. Mitchell Robinson's coming home. That way I can still dominate on 2K with this man. 4 years, $60 million. Man, I love playing with that guy on 2K. Josh knows all about it when you get me a center that's athletic like that. Man. By the way, off stream, we need to start talking about this. Okay. What we were talking about.
All I'm saying is if Chet's a 90 overall when it comes to 2K, I ain't touching that game.
This man also won't touch MLB The Show. So
you're hating on this man, dude.
Yusuf Nurkic got a bag to go back to the Blazers.
I love
4 years, $70 million. 18 million a year.
He's a good player, man.
I think that's well deserved. Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
he's a
yeah, he
very
got
good
the bag,
pass. He's like
and
a
they need to
not
pay
gonna
him.
lie. He's like he does a lot of things Jokic do. He's just not a Jokic. Like he's not off brand Jokic, but if like you know like he's not great value and Jokic is Nike, it'd be like if Jokic is
Trying to
Nike.
think, there's
It's
only a
like
couple white centers in the league I can think of, and you're just comparing him to him because he's white.
No, just because he's a good all around player. He can pass
He said
very
he's
well.
not like off-brand Jokic.
He
he
can do
He's
a
is.
not
lot
like
of
Jokic, but he's like
like
Jokic.
he's not
It's
great
like
value to
He's
Jokic.
it's like Nike. It's like
He's
Nike
more-
Reebok. You know, like
No. He's not
still.
Reebok. He's Under Armour. Under Armour. I'm telling you, he's good, man. Anyway, moving on.
Nike.
Mo Bamba. 2 years.
Stop trying to change the subject, okay?
$20 to
My gosh.
the
You said
Orlando Magic. Mo Bamba. Once was the
Jokic
Texas
back-to-back
Longhorns,
MVP as Nike.
Worn
And
down.
you're saying Nurkic is like a smidge
but
below?
he
Come
accepts
on.
a 2-year, $21 million contract with the Orlando Magic. Horns down, Mo Bamba. Can we talk about the
Biggest
Nets
thing
yet?
this guy ever did in his career was have a song named after him. But he got 21 mil for it. But athletic player who all I've ever heard is potential with him, and have never really seen a whole lot of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd love
Yeah,
to see
still
something
waiting
out of
for
him,
that.
but we'll see.
Love that.
Hey,
Love that word potential, man. It
Colin
sucks.
Sexton. Where's he
Colin
going?
Sexton, man. I don't know. I think he goes back to the Cavs.
I
But the
think it's like the
Mavs,
Cavs.
the Mavs have been
Ooh,
talking.
I
And
could see that.
And they're trying to get him. They'd have to obviously pay a really pretty penny for the Cavs to not match it. But I mean, that guy, a healthy Colin Sexton next to Luka Doncic. I like that fit.
Yeah,
I like that
I
fit
like
a lot.
that
They
I
just
would-
got rid of Jalen Brunson
I
because
would
he
love to
just got
see
paid
Colin
25
Sexton
mil.
with the Mavs. Yeah, I'd love to
So,
see him with the Mavs. That's my pick.
I see two places. I see him going back to Cavs, or I see him going to the Mavs.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the Cavs, though. I've already saw that as well. That's what he's thinking. But
Yeah, and then another guy who's trying to kind of be a diva with it all, but it's just not really working out. DeAndre Ayton. Basically, they've cut ties kind of with the Suns, is what I've heard. But I've also heard that like they're going to match the offer sheet and try to do sign and trade and all this other stuff. I think this is why I said this is going to be one of the craziest off seasons ever, because not only are Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving going to get traded, I think something big is going to happen with DeAndre Ayton. This is a really, a young center who has experience in deep playoff runs. Obviously, a guy who was on the Suns, who were on the top of the NBA last year.
he's good. He's more like the Reebok, I'd say.
So
we're
Nurkic is
comparing
Under
that.
Armour. If this guy's
I think Nurkic is way better than Ayton. That's my personal opinion.
Mm.
okay,
But,
well,
I mean, you guys
everybody,
can look up the
everybody has
stats.
opinions, and you can stick to them.
Nurkic fits more into today's MVP more than Ayton does. Can't say I'm wrong there.
I mean, you're wrong. I can just say you're
He's
wrong.
got a better
but-
shot. He's got a better pass. He can
Yeah.
do a lot more.
Anyways, you and Yusuf Nurkic just need to meet up and just kiss each other on the mouth or something. Strange. You have a strange connection with that man. But Ayton, I do think something big is going to happen. I think there's going to be a sign and trade. I think they're going to obviously match what a team like, I don't know, the Raptors or whoever. I've heard like 10 teams connected to this guy. Do a sign and trade, and the Nets or the Suns are going to get what they can out of him. And you don't usually see a guy like this become available very often, a young center who has a good track record of being what you want a center to be, being reliable, being there all the time, having that playoff experience. You don't see that a lot. So for this guy to become available and the Suns to not lock him down immediately shows that they're willing to deal him. They're willing to let him go for the right price. So I'm interested to see what happens there.
Hey, I would mind if the Nets signed DeAndre Ayton, but especially if they get young people with him.
Anthony Price says, I think he may stay, but they're waiting on KD. People waiting to see what KD does, and then we'll see more signings.
Okay, when are we going to KD? Because I have a
right
whole
now.
breakdown.
Right now, we can talk about it. We can talk about it right now. I agree. KD is going to run this offseason, and you can kind of tell it kind of already has to a certain degree. Teams are leaving, that little part
window
open.
of possibility.
Yeah,
open,
like okay, if I sign this guy, does it change whether I can get KD or Kyrie? No.
Yeah.
Okay, sign him. So yeah, I agree with that.
I got a whole breakdown of where I think KD is going.
Go ahead.
From 5th opportunity down to the best opportunity for him and probably for me as a
We're gonna be here a while. Josh, kick back.
So, do you want me to go ahead and break this down because I haven't been?
Yeah, go ahead because I actually want to hear.
How many times are you going to
hear
ask? Just say it. Come on, let's go.
I haven't been able to share my thoughts with the Nets, and yes, I love me some Brooklyn Nets, and I'm probably going to have to wait a while before they're good again, but maybe not because we know that if you can get so much for Rudy Gobert, that you should be able to get a lot more for the Nets. Now, did you guys hear the trade that was offered that was declined? The Nets
for
offered
Cat and Anthony Edwards.
For Anthony Edwards and Cat, yeah, and like 4 picks. Now, that seems like a lot, I guess, because Cat has kind of rejuvenated himself and, like, found a second win. Ant-Man is an upcoming superstar. So it does seem like a lot. But I'm going to give you 5 scenarios that I think. Now, some of these are like who I hope we get and would be good for both. But truly, this is where I can see Kevin Durant going to. Number 5 is the Warriors. We've already seen that the Warriors might, put a little offer for KD for a little reunion. As much as Josh talked about how Jordan Poole is, the next, LeBron James, and he loves Jordan Poole. I wouldn't mind seeing some Jordan Poole in Brooklyn Nets. I mean, he's a good player, and I'll obviously be a huge fan if we get Jordan Poole. But we know that it's probably going to take Jordan Poole, right, to get KD to the Warriors, if not more.
Yeah.
If not more, like they're going to throw in.
Yeah,
they're going to throw in some other players. But I think Jordan
Andrew Wiggins too, for sure,
is the key piece. I think. Over Andrew Wiggins. I know Andrew Wiggins is good, but Jordan Poole is.
I think it's Poole, Wiggins, and Kuminga is where it starts.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
And you throw in a couple things here and there, 5. Some picks.
That's number 5. Number 4, I think, where you could end up is the Portland Trailblazers. We know that Dame wants to, be on his team. I'm kind of worried as far as with the Blazers of who they would send out. It'd probably be Shaedon Sharpe, the number 7 overall pick that they drafted.
Anthony Simons.
Start with him, and then the Anthony Simons or whatever. And he's a good player as well. And I think. He would be a good piece, especially if they sign some other guys, TJ Warren, they get DeAndre Ayton, who knows? I mean, they can at least compete in the East since the East is weak, we're weaker, I should say. So that's number 4, okay? Number 3, and I think this could happen, go to the Celtics for Jaylen Brown because he's not happy with Boston right now. There's been some grumblings that he wants out. Jaylen Brown is the key piece. I still think it would take Grant Williams, a couple other pieces to throw in there.
And I could see. Another thing is that frees up with the signing of Brogdon. That also frees up the possibility of Marcus Smart being traded there also.
That's true. So it'd be like Brogdon, Tatum, and Durant, which that'd be crazy.
Let me pause you there real quick because last week, Josh, we talked about some teams that maybe don't want to blow it up when they were that close. Boston was obviously in the finals, and we're a couple games away from winning the championship. Do you really think that they want to blow that up? I mean, obviously Kevin Durant's the guy you blow it up for.
But listen though, with this, let's say that is right because you said that was rumors that you heard, right? Nate, is Jaylen Brown not being happy? I haven't seen that.
I've heard that. I heard that just today.
Okay, so let's say that is the case. Let's say Jaylen Brown wants out and he's not happy. Okay, you just signed Brogdon. That's a huge upgrade over Marcus Smart because he could do what Marcus Smart is already doing and better.
Yeah,
so there's two pieces that you could trade right there. And then, I mean, you're obviously going to have to throw in somebody else with like Grant Williams or something like that, but you're not really blowing up that Celtics team that much. If you just signed Brogdon, which is an upgrade, you're getting Kevin Durant over Jaylen Brown, which is an upgrade. I think that makes your team better. So
I think Jaylen Brown's getting a little impatient. Like he's like, "Come on!"
He's tired of being that number 2.
Looking at JT, thinking like, "Hey, look what I did in the finals, JT. If you could have just pushed the envelope a little bit more, like we could be champs right now. Like I'm waiting on you to like take one more step that we think is in Jason Tatum. We just haven't seen yet.
Yeah, but when you think about that way though, you're like, man, if he would have just taken another step. Okay, so why would he want to get traded out though? Because he knows that they're not going to trade him to a team that's good.
Impatient.
Because it wouldn't be. So you think he's going to go to the Nets and be okay with winning 25 games?
I think
that doesn't sound like
to him. He would think, "Hey, me and Marcus Smart, and grab some other picks." Like
You
he
got
might
Ben
say,
Simmons still.
"I'm the man." Like he might. It might be in Jaylen Brown to say I can lead a team. Like he might think.
It's just,
I don't know if he's ready. I mean, Jaylen Brown's good, and we saw a whole.
He was
other
their
side.
closer.
Yeah,
he was their closer in the finals.
Anyway, I'll share the other two that I think are really close.
That is interesting, though.
So I could see the Celtics doing it. The number two is obviously the Phoenix Suns, is who we've heard with connected to Kevin Durant for a while now, and I think the Phoenix Suns have a lot to give them. Mikal Bridges, I think, would have to probably be in that mix.
Obviously, you'd start with a sign-in trade of Ayton, first of all. And then Bridges,
Ayton,
yes.
Possibly Bridges, and you'd probably have to throw in some other, some picks and throw some people in there. Whoa, did we just lose Tim?
Yeah.
Oh, no. We lost Tim. You must not be happy. Oh, there's Tim.
My bad.
Hey, you lost your spot.
No, I didn't.
All you missed was the Suns. I don't know if you were still in here. But, yeah, sign and trade of Ayton, throw in Bridges, some other picks. But I think the Suns are in that number two spot of getting him. And my number one team, who has a lot to offer, who is definitely in the running to get Kevin Durant, is the Memphis Grizzlies. Settle down. Because Memphis has a very good package to offer the Nets in Desmond Bane's shooting and scoring ability. Jaren Jackson has a very reasonable contract and is a very good player. Jaren Jackson Jr. Who else was I thinking of that could go play? Shoot, I forgot his team. Who's that other guy on the Grizzlies? He's like their 6th, 7th man up and coming. I'm trying to think of who it is.
You talking about Dylan Brooks?
Dylan Brooks, yes. Dylan Brooks, who we all love, except for Josh because he hates Dylan Brooks. But I'm telling you, I could see Kevin Durant going to the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm telling you, I can see it. Don't be shook when it happens.
I think the 76ers have a better chance of getting KD over the Grizzlies.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't do that. I mean, they're going to sign Harden.
I mean, I just you're throwing Baines, Jaren Jackson, and Dylan Brooks to get KD. That's three players, and I don't even think that's close to enough because nobody is on out of those three is even close to the level of KD. That's literally if I'm the Nets and I make that trade, you cannot be 100%. You cannot be 100% happy.
But the picks that they have, though, the Grizzlies have been for several years now. I saw something where the Grizzlies, if it's just straightly on picks, if you're just doing who has the right amount of picks for the next 5 years, the Grizzlies have if it's just solely based on draft picks, the Grizzlies have the best. They're hoarding several picks right now, and they have the best draft.
Okay, if we're going off of picks. If we're going off the picks, then I'm doing Thunder.
But it's going to take no. But it's going to take all these players and picks. It's not just going to take 3 players or Mikal Bridges and Ayton or you know what I mean. It's not just going to take Anthony Simons. It's going to take the guys and picks. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying, but hear me out. So you think that with the possibility of what you could get out of Kevin Durant, you think that that's what the Nets are going to settle for? Is the picks and basing this trade off of rebuilding in the future when you could get multiple star players for this one guy? I just don't see that happening.
But the Nets have no picks. Do you not understand? The Nets gave up all their picks in the whole.
I understand. No, I get what you're saying.
Trade that they made, but I'm saying basically the Grizzlies have the same thing to offer as the Suns, but the volume of picks that they could throw to Brooklyn would be super enticing. And my only conflict with the Heat is I heard that the Heat basically have no way to trade Adebayo or the Heat basically can't. The way with the contracts and like you can't have a certain amount of designated rookie max salaries, and I think Ben Simmons and Adebayo both have that. They
Yeah.
can't basically. So like I think that's what
It
takes.
was like the same thing. It was part of the Hawks thing too. Hawks can't do it either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I saw that.
I'm telling you, man. I think that the Grizzlies are in it for sure. Like I'm not just saying that because I'm telling you.
So you think you said those 5 scenarios, and you said number 1 Grizzlies. So like, do you think that's like the most likely destination, or you just had
I
the
think
5?
so. I think so.
So I'm interested that in those 5, you didn't mention the Lakers at all.
Or the 76ers.
I don't know who the Lakers would give them.
Well, basically, anybody not named LeBron James, you can have them all.
Yeah, I mean, the Nets are not going to be interested in trading Durant for Russell Westbrook, though.
No, it wouldn't.
And
but I mean, they got young players on the roster too, man.
Yeah, because we talked about this. We talked about this last week, and I think you. I don't know if you. I'm guessing you didn't rewatch any of that because.
No, I
that's
didn't.
Obvious. Give him Scottie Pippen Jr., Russell Westbrook, Talen Horton-Tucker, Lonnie Walker. Who else you want? You want Austin Reeves?
I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to give him Austin Reeves.
Yeah, like who? Yeah, well, that they're saying, you know what? I'll give you my left hand if it takes to get him on the Lakers with LeBron James. Like the Lakers know that their window of opportunity to win is, I think, with their current roster, it's closed. I think with their current roster, it's closed. But I think that they don't have a very big window, even just with LeBron. LeBron's getting older, and he's going to be like, you know what? I
don't think the Lakers are in it, but I
don't think so either. But they have to move that needle. They're the Lakers.
I did have a dark horse pick with the Knicks.
Josh and I like the 76ers.
The Knicks with RJ Barrett. I don't know if that's like a dark horse pick at all. Thoughts on that?
I just think that what you just said
they wouldn't have enough.
Very biased.
What'd you say?
I think what Nate said with Katie going to the Memphis Grizzlies is extremely biased.
Well, yeah,
it's not biased. I think that they have a lot to offer. Like I'm not playing with you. I could see the Celtics, the Blazers.
I think the Celtics, if anything, have a more of a chance to get Kevin Durant than freaking.
They have a lot to offer. The Celtics have a lot to offer.
That college team you just stated.
I think the best package that a team can give that would still make them 100% ready to win right now and boost them is the 76ers.
I still think that too. Like I'm really shocked that you haven't said them. Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I have the roster. I have the roster pulled up right now. You're offering them Maxey. You're giving them Matisse Thybulle, Tobias Harris. I mean, you could anybody else that they probably want. Yeah. And then I don't know what types of picks these guys have, but
even just Matisse Thybulle
and Tobias Harris's salary, and with Matisse Thybulle, with him basically like going non-existent in the playoffs, he's nothing. And then what else is in the cabinet to throw at us?
He's nothing.
You got Maxey, and that's it.
Nate, I'm taking Thybulle over all 3 of those Memphis Cub players, whatever their names are that you freaking just said.
You're taking him over Desmond Bane and Triple J. And Dylan Brooks?
I mean,
I'm not taking him over Triple J, but I'm
not taking over Triple J either. Yeah, but I'm taking over the other 2. And I'm taking Maxey. I mean,
I'm just saying Maxey and Thybulle together, dude, that young duo is going to, be your team for the next 5-10 years.
I don't know, man. I don't want anything to do with Matisse Thybulle. I'm just not seeing it.
You don't want anything to do with the 76ers because they got James boy. They're going to have him. Really, the problem was Kyrie Irving. So they're going to have James Harden, Kevin Durant, and good old Joel Embiid, and they're going to run the East.
I just don't see it. Tobias Harris, there's no way that we'll take that salary. Like, Tobias Harris is not even on the table. Basically, it's
you have to make the money work.
In Maxey. Like, that's the only No,
I mean,
'cause
you're
Tobias
acting like
Harris-
Harris. You're acting like Harris can't
Here's what's
still
gonna happen.
produce. Like,
Here's what's gonna happen. James Harden hasn't signed yet. So you're gonna be like, you know what? If we need to eat a lot of Tobias's money, or if we need to keep the guy, I'll sign for league minimum to be on a team with KD, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, James Harden. If they're healthy, what team's beating them in the East? No one. No one.
I don't know. I'm just not seeing it with the 76ers, man. I don't think Durant would even want to play with James Harden again, honestly.
I think KD just wants to win.
yeah.
James Harden wasn't even James Harden last year.
I mean, how can you be when you
If
have
they
all
got
these
Joel
distractions?
Embiid MVP, yeah, Kyrie didn't even play half the games, man. You're being more
Exactly,
critical
like
of Harden than you are Kyrie.
Oh, trust me, I'm critical of Kyrie. I mean, I don't need to even talk about that.
Where do you think he's going? You think he's going to Lakers?
I don't even know. I haven't even thought about Kyrie, honestly. I've been putting my package together for KD and getting all that going. I don't know, man. I put it in the way that I could
for
see
being
it.
prepared. I think
I gave you my 5 options with 80% solely on where I can see it, 20% on like the players I'm getting back. So 76ers aren't in there probably mostly because I don't like the players that we're getting back. I mean, it's still my teams that I picked, like I said, based the decision on where I could see Durant. I could see Durant.
100% the package the 76ers can give you is 10 times better than anything the Blazers can give you.
Or the Grizzlies.
I take Anfernee Simons, though, and that rookie that they just drafted. And
Shaden Sharp, you don't even know what he is.
Shaden Sharp, yeah, I forgot what his name was.
And I don't think
over Tyrese Maxey and Matisse Thybulle?
Yeah, I'd take him. Sorry, dude. I don't know. I'm just
What? Oh my. Okay, well maybe the Nets need to sign you, man. Maybe they'll get I don't know, man. I don't know.
The only other thing, I mean,
I
could see him going to. I guess I could see him a little bit going to the Nuggets too. You know, for Michael Porter Jr. That would be it would be Murray, and unless they got rid of Murray too, and it's just
the Nuggets wouldn't do that. Get rid of Murray and Porter?
I mean,
I don't think they do that.
Durant. What is Durant going? Like, what are the Nets going to? You got to think about
that leaves them with Jokic and Durant, though.
You think that the Nets, think about
Durant's going to go to a place where he's going to be on a big 3.
Like, what do you think the Nets phone? Like, whoever's taking the phone call for the trades or who's looking at the emails? Like, wouldn't it be awesome to be like a fly on that wall, looking at all the packages coming in?
Yeah.
Like, don't you think the Nets are literally going to be picking like the best package?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you're telling me that the Memphis Grizzlies are giving me the
best package?
That's what I'm saying.
The Grizzlies are going to say, or they're going to, Nets are going to say,
Desmond Bane and Dylan Brooks. Those are like 3 top dudes right
average players.
Dude, right now? Did you just say 3 top dudes right now? Okay, you really are drinking this Memphis Gatorade, bro.
Dude,
you're chugging that.
No.
You're chugging it. Chugging it.
Top players.
Chugging it.
No, those are the top players of anybody else that's getting offered.
Chugging it. Bro, there's no way.
Would you take those 3 players or Thybulle and Maxey over those 3 players? You're taking Maxey and Thybulle.
I'm taking Maxey over all 3.
We've already said this.
Okay, let's just say Desmond Bane and Triple J. Like, what other duo? Like, you can't tell me you take Maxey and Thybulle over both of them. Like,
I'm taking.
Real, though.
Hold on, I'm gonna look something up real quick.
Seriously, like what other young duo would you take over them? I'm not taking Maxey and Thybulle. I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm just not seeing it, man.
I don't know.
Thybulle was terrible in the playoffs.
I think the reason I'm not taking that trade, I'm not really, and this isn't me hating on the Grizzlies like I like to do. I really think that Desmond Bane is a system player. Yes, he can shoot, and shooting's not going to leave you. I mean, you can go anywhere and shoot the basketball, but at the same time, I don't think he's going to be as comfortable going to a team like the Brooklyn Nets over being with that young core in Memphis. Like, I don't think he's going to be the same player. So I don't know. I just don't see that happening.
I don't know. There's good discussions, but again, I mean, we could literally see some of the craziest things. Like,
But
it's one of two things.
The
Like
Grizzlies draft
the-
picks, man. Like their
the
draft
Nets
stock
say
that hold on to.
Nets say, you know what, we're gonna get the best package available. But Kevin Durant's also gonna say, hey, I don't have a no trade clause to this team, but I'm gonna let the team know, hey, I'm not gonna play for you guys. So it's not like a team can go out, like the Magic can go out and trade.
Why would Durant want to play with Ja Morant though? Like, come on.
He hasn't accomplished anything. Why would he want to go play there?
Well, okay. Here's the thing, though. You're giving away everything, so it's just him and Ja Morant. You think that's enough?
No, they haven't accomplished anything.
And...
Sign who though? Who's left? Who are you filling that roster out with?
Carmelo Anthony.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Carmelo Anthony is my favorite basketball player of all time. You're telling me that's who you guys are going to sign to play the power forward? Like, you're taking away you're taking away everything. I'm thinking about a team that has the assets, but also has the superstars to make this work. To say, you know what, we're going to mortgage our future because we have a lot in the now. Like the 76ers, we have these top players, and we can afford to get rid of our future to get Kevin Durant. And the Nets will say, yeah, that's a good enough package. And Kevin Durant's like, yeah, I want to play with those guys. He's not going to go to a team where it's just him and one other dude standing around looking like Will Smith in that meme when he's standing around looking, there's nobody there. That's what they're going to be doing with him and Ja Morant. There's going to be nobody else there.
I mean, they might not throw in Dylan Brooks. I mean, let's just say Triple J and Desmond Bane and a crap ton of picks. I mean, I take that as a Mets fan. Either way, I'm starting over. Like
but you don't have to, though. That's what I don't understand.
Like I told Josh, if it's based just on picks, like the Grizzlies have the best picks, hoarding picks, the best draft stock for future to offer.
I thought that was OKC.
No, it's the Grizzlies. I looked it up.
Don't they have like 7 first-round picks, though? Or whatever? Sure, yeah. I don't know. I don't see it happening. I think that I don't see it.
The Nets,
I take Desmond Bane and his scoring ability over like Mikal Bridges. I know that he's an awesome defender, but like I'm taking Desmond Bane over Mikal Bridges all day.
Just scoring or overall?
Overall, like if I had to pick one team to get a player off of, I'm taking Desmond Bane.
Oh my!
I mean, I know that you guys are the Grizzlies, and I know that both of you think the Grizzlies was just a freakish fluke because of injuries.
I have never once said that, but I'm not drinking. I'm not like.
I'll admit that right now.
I'm not kissing Desmond Baines on the mouth like you're doing right now, bro. Mike, you think this guy's the second coming of Jesus walk on air Jordan?
Everybody else, though, in the whole sports world believes that the Grizzlies are a real deal. Like they have a ton of good players on their team.
Okay, but name me a guy who thinks Desmond Bane is the guy the Nets need to go get.
Yeah, show me
Triple J too. It'd probably be Triple J just because of his contract. Dude has a small contract, and they take him too.
I'll agree with Triple J, but
yeah, I mean, I'm drinking that. I already said Triple J. That's the main guy. If that trade were to happen, it's headlined with Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks and his girlfriend.
Boyfriend.
You know, it's not just. I mean, Desmond Bane's great.
I don't know, man.
For what he is. But it's not. He's not.
What happens?
I think you're just.
If he goes to the Grizzlies, though, who's coming down with me to a game? Like, who
I'm not stepping foot in Memphis.
I've already been to a Memphis. No, wait, no. I went to OKC when Memphis played OKC. I'll go. Yeah, sure, I'll go. Not. But I mean, just keep dreaming, bro. Because I don't think so. I mean, I like it. But okay.
Nate, you might as well just go away.
Here, this is the last thing I'm going to say, and then we got to move on.
You're not seeing it?
They're a dynasty, right? Why is a dynasty going to break this up? If Desmond Bane's worth Kevin Durant, why don't they just keep Desmond Bane? If Jaren Jackson Jr. is worth Kevin Durant, why don't they just keep him?
You and old Brooks over there think y'all a dynasty, apparently. So, yeah, why are you guys blowing that up?
Here's other guys that
Have you ever seen Nate and Dylan Brooks?
Tyus Jones, Texas Tech's own Jarrett Culver.
No, because the door's shut usually.
Brandon Clark from Gonzaga. Like,
the same guy.
Dude, I'm naming a bunch of different players that they can offer other people. Kyle Anderson from the Spurs, he was good. Brandon Clark from Gonzaga. We got Jarrett Culver from Texas Tech. Like, these are all guys.
Kyle Anderson.
These are all guys that are ballers, bro.
Most
You
notable
can't even
thing
say
about
that with shame.
most notable thing about Kyle Anderson is his hairline. Stop playing.
Dude said that and was laughing.
He said, Kyle Anderson. Don't laugh, Nate. Don't laugh. Kyle Anderson. Like, come on, bro. Come on. We're gonna move on because, man,
Nate's
Nate,
out here reaching.
This man,
Is
you
it-
had
is
to
it
turn
really
on forced
reach,
trades on 2K. You definitely did. They're like, yeah, we're not giving you that. You're like, all right, fine, I'll turn on the forced trades, and then I'm gonna trade you Kevin Durant for my fork, and then I'll have John Morant, Kevin Durant, Jaren Jackson, Dylan Brooks, Desmond Bain. My starting five. We're beating everybody. That's you, 2K. You're doing it tonight, guaranteed. But NBA Summer League, a couple guys to note. Josh's favorite player, Chet Holmgren, played 2 games. And
Yo, I have a quick question, boys. I'm on ESPN right now trying to watch this Summer League game, and this stupid NHL draft is still on. How many freaking teams are in this thing? Like, good grief.
Big deal.
For who?
For a lot of the northern world.
Canadians.
I was about to say, then let's stream it on freaking TSN or whatever their channel is over there in Canada. Let's get it off of ESPN.
Actually, hockey just
sorry
got
if we have any
ESPN.
Canadians listening or watching. I'm sorry, we don't condone the activity of our fellow American over here.
I'm trying to watch
Our
some
thoughts and
Summer League
prayers
basketball.
go out to you and your family, and I hope you guys are safe in the time in which we live. That was a disclaimer there. Yeah, NBA Summer League though. Chet Holmgren, he's played 2 games. We've already talked about this a little bit, but the first game I think really showed the top end of what this guy can be. In that game, he dropped 23 points, and he was a very efficient shooter and 6 blocks. His second game showed what could make this guy a bust. The fact that he's scrawny, can't really. You don't think he's scrawny?
It don't matter
Bro,
when he can.
that lamp is built bigger than him.
Though, like, you can push him back some, but
That
jump
lamp's
up and you
boxing him
can,
out.
Dude can block everything that's like under 13 and 4 inches.
Tell that to
Tim,
Taco
no,
John's.
time out. Go look up that Kenny Lofton guy. How tall is he? What's his height?
I don't know. Dude's not even going to be an NBA player. Like,
But yet he's
sad.
bodying.
That's what's sad.
He's absolutely bodying Chet. Like, I don't understand what you guys
6'6".
are looking at when you're he's what?
6'6". That's what they list him as. 6'7" is what the Grizzlies list him as.
Wow.
matter,
A
dude.
6'7" center.
They list him as 275 pounds.
It don't even matter though. Like, he's not.
That's a
He
big
can
boy.
block shots. He can block shots.
Holy
but
crap,
Chet
that's a big
Holmgren-
boy.
Nate, that's
Chet
not the
Holmgren
point.
isn't drafted to be a Rudy Gobert. Like, he's not a defensive like brick house. That's not even what he's supposed to be. This could be the next Kevin Durant.
Or playing center, going up against Joel Embiid, going up against Jokic, going up against freaking DeAndre
They're not
Drummond.
using to play center. Like, he
And
can
who's
guard
playing
other
center
positions.
right now? Go look at the roster and who's playing center on that roster. Mike Muscala, Derek Favors. No, you don't draft this guy second overall and be like, we're gonna put him as a small forward, because if he's playing any other position, he's gonna have to play small forward. And even then, the dude is a defensive liability. I don't care how tall this dude is. He's not laterally quick enough. He's not big enough. He's not guarding a LeBron James. He's not guarding a Kevin Durant. He's not guarding a Devin Booker. The dude can't even guard a 6'7", 375-pound G League center in the summer league.
But he's not.
How
the center.
can you
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not going to play center though. I'm telling you.
Where's he
that.
playing? Where's he playing? You
He's
tell
not gonna be
me.
guarding center.
Then who is?
I don't
He's
Josh
probably gonna be
Giddey?
more of a 4. Oh, Josh Giddey's a straight up baller though,
You
bro.
guys are so. I don't understand. I do not understand what. I just don't get it.
Well,
I
like I
don't
said,
get it.
if this guy can be a great shooter, yeah, he's going to be good. But, I mean, again, we saw one game of what looked really good and one game of what looked really bad.
But let's go and look at who he's
I don't think he
playing
looked
in
really
that
bad,
one
though.
game. He scored 11 points, was 1 for 6 from behind the arc, and shot like 6 for 13 or 4, something crazy. I don't even know what it was. I don't even think it was that
Shoot or
good.
shoot, man. Shoot or shoot.
But this is my point that I'm making.
Summer
When he's playing,
league.
hold on, time out. When
3
he
for
was
11.
was he 3 for 11?
Off the top of my head, yeah, because he was
Yeah.
7 for 9 in the first game.
When he had that big first game that everybody's freaking gagging on this guy about, he dropped 27 points against a bunch of G League hopefuls. I don't even think the Utah Jazz has a top
Most blocks, tied for most blocks in a game.
with 6 against guys who are going to be in the G League next year. And then you go to a guy and Kitty, whatever this dude's name is, we haven't even heard of him.
Lofton
He's
Jr.? His dad was a baseball
6'7".
player.
Josh
He's
Giddey?
No, Kenny
What?
Lofton is who you're talking about.
Oh, Kenny Lofton.
He's 6'7", 275 pounds, and is dogging this dude. Scored 19 points. Chet had 11. And you're telling me that's not something to worry about? This dude's 6'7".
But
and
look
not
at
to
Kenny
mention-
Lofton Jr. He's like huge.
Exactly my point.
He's fat.
Look
though.
at
Like,
every other NBA player.
Like,
that
oh, okay.
Chet
Here's the thing.
wants to have
Kenny,
to be
Kenny
guarded.
Lofton, Josh. Yeah, I got this for your argument here. So if you think he's going to play small forward or power forward, Nate, he's going to be guarding guys that are 6'7", 6'8", and are as strong as Kenny Lofton. They're more built
And quicker.
They're stronger, as in we have more muscle. Kenny Lofton's just mass. He's just a big
Yeah.
old boy. But LeBron James is 270, 280, 290. I mean, all muscle. And there's even the Bridge boys, Miles and Mikal, they're both big, strong guys.
Miles Bridges, who's
hey, Chet
not even
Holmgren
an
will
NBA
That's who
learn
he-
player
that's
right
who he-
now,
That's who he'd be
is
guarding.
absolutely
He
eating
will
Chet
shift his
Holmgren.
feet. He might not be able to body him up, but he'll shift his feet. He'll get good defensive positioning. You still got to go over him. You know, get off of him, man. Get off of his back.
You
I
get
think-
off of him.
He's got to just, man, he's got to hit those
I don't know
hit
how
those
good he's
weights.
gonna
He should
be.
just
I
take
mean,
the
I'm
whole
not
year
writing
off
at
and
2
just
games.
spend 24 hours a day in a gym,
I think
drinking
the
protein,
dude is-
eating 10 meals a day.
Listen, I'll let you go. I'll say this. If he's good, I'll eat my words. I'm man enough to do that. I'll admit that I was wrong. But if he's not good, when I tell you you are not going to hear the end of it, oh my gosh.
He needs to call up Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And see what that dude had on his diet, because
Get that guy's training regimen because he supersized every one of his muscles.
I don't know.
So
and it's not going to be an overnight thing. Like, it took Giannis 4 years to get to the size that he is. But I don't even think in 4 years Chet is going to be anywhere near the size of Giannis, just because of genetics and how
but
this
if
dude's
he
built.
is,
Then it's a total different story.
yep. But I mean, that's yet to be seen. And Kevin Durant never really morphed into a super muscular guy, but he also can, even
His
coming out of
skill
college,
set is-
yeah, he can move quicker than Chet. He can handle the ball a lot better, and he was a better shooter.
And we talked about this the other night, Tim. When that was Kevin Durant's main thing that everybody was talking about. Oh, this dude's too small, blah, blah, blah. Even with the skill set that he had, that's what they were saying when he was coming out of college. Why is nobody saying this about Chet? I don't get it.
Yeah.
What,
I don't know,
I seriously do not understand it. They have him listed as a center, 190 pounds.
Mhm.
There's point guards 190 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, I weigh 187 and I'm 5'11". This guy's 7'1".
7 feet.
Whatever.
Don't give him that extra inch now.
Like, I just don't understand what people are.
I don't know. I think he's the most interesting player. You know.
Oh,
I
he's
don't know.
definitely
I think the dude's one
Hope
of the
he's
ugliest
good,
players
but
I've ever seen.
I don't know. I mean,
The man looks like a straight up giraffe.
I just don't
In
want
the
to write
face
him
and
off
everything.
based on his
baby
size.
giraffe.
Just
I don't
because
think he has a weight for a freaking full-grown giraffe.
Okay, Nate,
I'm just-
and just
I'm
answer
not
this
gonna-
question. Answer this question honestly, and then we'll move on from Chet. Do you see him more of a Kevin Durant or Kristaps Porzingis?
The fact that you're thinking about this, I'm about to just leave this
I don't.
podcast.
I mean, because KD's maybe one of the best scorers like in the NBA history. So I mean, you can't compare him to
The
KD.
thing is, they're two different players coming out, but people have compared him to KD. Thing is, Chet is known. They're like, this guy can rim protect because he had blah 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 blocks per game. Well, if you watch any Gonzaga game ever, he was not like the main post up defender. He was the guy. He kind of hung around the rim and blocked some shots. But Drew Timme was that guy. He was your post defender, and that's in college.
Yeah. I mean, he's just super long and lanky. So if he gets beat off the dribble, he can still, protect and swipe.
Yeah, the dude's going to get his blocks. I mean, that's not something you need to worry about.
I don't think he's going to be able to do like post up defense. I mean, he's extremely.
He's very interesting for sure. And the good thing about this is the Thunder needed a reason for people to watch them. Well, they have it now. Him and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they're going to be interesting. I love
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
So I have one more question before we move on. If he's not playing the center, where's this dude playing at?
Power
wherever
forward,
he wants.
Small forward.
You think he's? You could put him at.
If they want the best out of him, they'll allow him to kind of. I mean, I don't know. Like you see Jokic, he's a center, but dude takes the ball down sometimes. You know what I mean? Like they will allow him to use what he was drafted for. Hopefully, he's a scorer. I mean, he can score. He can do things that 7 feet shouldn't do. That's why he was drafted.
Yeah.
I mean, am I right? That's why he was drafted, because he's a 7-foot freak. I mean, he's doing things that people 7 feet shouldn't do.
I mean, okay, this is one thing I was thinking about. I look at basketball, I feel like different from other people because I don't care if they're a good scorer. I look at all around players. Like, what can they do well? Like, are they a well-rounded player? Okay. Chet, can he score the ball? Yes, that's not a question. If I'm the Thunder, that's not a question. My question is, what I'm thinking, where can I play this guy at that he's not going to be a defensive liability? Because at the end of the day, you have to play some sort of defense.
Well, I mean, defense in NBA is kind of lacking anyway, and I think the rules. So the rules. No. Let me finish. The rules and where NBA is right now, it like benefits the defensive lacking player. Does that make sense? Like you can be lacking defensively, but still be a very quality player because the way NBA is right now, with the less physicality, the bumping, I'm just saying, like, Chet Holmgren wouldn't even probably be thought of back in the day, but because of the way the NBA is. But he's drafted based on his freakish talent for being super long, super skinny, super tall. Like, he can do things that, you don't see every day. Now, with a high reward, there is a high risk. Like, we don't know. Like, Kristaps was the same way. He was a unicorn, and he's, that was his nickname. But he, Kristaps kind of flaked on us, you know what I mean? But we never know. I think that it's a high risk for them, but that's why
I think it's more of a risk than anything. Like if you're looking, you look at the Thunder's roster, okay? They have 4 centers, 2 of them are like 30 plus years old, okay, that haven't played a minute of NBA basketball since God knows when. And then you got, what's this guy's name? Freaking that Polanski. They call him Pogo, like Pogo Sticks, whatever his name is. He's 20 years old, 7 foot, 700 pounds, 7 foot, 190 pounds. Okay. And then you got Chet, who's 7'1", 195 pounds. Okay. You have to, one of those two are playing center. I don't care which one's playing center, but at some point, even if Chet doesn't play center, at some point he's getting matched up.
I don't think have Georges in the gang or whatever. He can probably play some interior defense too.
Well, they have him listed as a forward, which I think he is. Like, he's way too. I don't think he could play center, but at some point he's going to have to guard that
too. It's not like oh, Chet, which guy can you guard on this team? I mean, there's a lot of team defense.
And I will say, I think that the NBA is at a point to where we're almost positionless, to where we're kind of, how well can a guy rotate? How well can a guy kind of defend everywhere? And can he hold his own from a certain spot? So again, this whole thing, can he play center? It is what it is, but I think that he's going to get matched up against the strong guys. They're going to switch onto him, and that's when he's going to get eaten up. Not that, he can't play center. He can't guard the center. He can't guard those big, strong guys. So I don't know, and I think that it's something, obviously it's very obvious. You look at him, but I don't know.
Yeah, but we
I think he's
also
fun to watch, and it'll be fun to see him. But again, we could spend all night
he
arguing
can
about this.
score,
But
he's talented, and we're talking
Okay.
about a guy that's still 20 years old. I mean, dude is still super young.
mhm.
I mean, yeah,
You know
like
what
I
I'm
said,
saying?
if
I
he
mean,
puts on it, like I said, it took Giannis 4 years to put on the weight that he is. So in 4 years, we'll talk about it. But at the same time, right now, are you taking the 25 that Chet's probably going to drop a game over the 40 that he's given up to like somebody like Joel Embiid or Jokic or like that just don't even out to me. I just don't. I don't see that. I don't
Yeah,
understand where
he's
you
got
can
to
be
put on the
happy
weight
with
for
that.
sure. He's got to put on
Yeah.
the weight. But I think that they he has shown with his like personality, like he's kind of a little jerk. Thinks it's all about himself. But again, he's a guy who looks like he's very competitive and wants to win. So I think if they say, "Hey, Chet, you've got to put on 40 pounds," I think it's something that he'll take into serious consideration and do.
And even
So
with that, it's all
I
about
like his personality as
genetics.
far as a superstar goes.
It's
Right.
and
But
when he's putting on that type of weight, being that tall, it is going to affect him physically like no other.
well, that's why I
And
said
so
he's got to talk to Giannis because Giannis, it's like almost the same thing. Giannis, I think, was still built better than Chet was built now. Like Chet is built like an absolute skeleton.
yeah,
Giannis had some meat on his bones, but then he turned into what he is now. But I think the way science is nowadays, I think that there's definitely a way to put on that weight and still be able to have that explosiveness. And even Giannis got more explosiveness because of it. So we'll see. I do want to talk about a couple other summer league names that were showing out before we hop off here. Lakers games have been a little fun to watch, boys. Scottie Pippen Jr. Nate, I know you're a big fan of this guy. He's played 3 games, averaging over 11 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, almost 5 assists. Hasn't shot super well, but he's looked like the best player on those summer league Lakers. It looks like a guy who could find himself maybe in a rotation piece if he doesn't get traded. A lower rotation piece. Obviously not like a starter or big minutes guy, but a guy who can see some playing time for the Lakers for sure. I've liked what I've seen from him. I like the story of Sharif O'Neal. Everyone knows this is Shaq's kid, who, if you guys don't know, those watching or listening, he had open heart surgery, I believe, and
crazy story.
his heart, like there was something, he had to have heart surgery. He had over a year where he couldn't play basketball. He came back and did what he could, had minutes restrictions, and ran into a couple roadblocks, but decided to go to the NBA. And I mean, he's played pretty decent. He played 2 games so far. He's grabbed 7 total rebounds in 2 games, scored 9 total points, 3 for 5 shooting. Just a good story, though. I mean, I don't know that he'll really grow into the league, and maybe he's getting some opportunities because of who his dad is. But it is a good story, and I do like to look at that and give that some acknowledgement. And Mac McClung's been showing out for them as well. A guy who, if he can just be a good shooter, I mean, a guy like that can always be around LeBron. Put the guy out there and just let him shoot. But
didn't he just sign to the Warriors?
Mac McClung, he was just playing on the Lakers summer league like 2 nights ago. Did they just sign him away?
I don't know. I was
think
talking
so.
to somebody last night. They said that he signed with the Warriors, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yep. Warriors add Lakers G League Rookie of the Year, Mac McClung to Summer League roster. How does that happen? So he's leaving the Lakers to join the Warriors on the same Summer League. That's interesting. I hadn't heard that. But again, shooters always fit in that Warrior system. So, well, when he was playing for the Lakers, he was good. So, Keegan Murray's been showing out for the Kings. You guys been watching this guy?
Oh yeah.
Averaging, I think he's the Summer League leading scorer right now. Almost 20 points per game, 8 rebounds, over a steal per
Now that's
game.
a good player.
Shooting almost 50% from 3, shooting over 50% from the field. This guy's been looking like the real deal. So, I mean, I know it's Summer League too, but
if we're gonna hype anybody up over Summer League, it should be Keegan Murray.
or Nikola Jovic on the Heat.
Yeah, that dude has
Baby
been balling out.
Jokic. He had that one game where he just went off, had like 26 points, something like that, and filled up the stat board with rebounds. And he's a pretty good shooter, too, for his size. He shot 6 for 14 from 3 in these 3 games. I mean, the Heat, man, they draft very well. Their rotational pieces all come from them drafting. Obviously, Bam was a high pick, but Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, even who's the guy who am I forgetting? That Heat roster guy who was a rookie this year, Gabe Vincent. Or he wasn't a rookie, but he was a guy that they brought in and developed. They can just develop guys, and a guy like that, man, it's pretty scary to see. But summer league action, man. Josh, you watching any summer league, or are you still watching the hockey? Draft?
I mean, I'm still watching the freaking NHL draft. They're on pick 32, and there's looks like 30. I mean, good God, how many NHL teams are there? Heck no. I think I have a better chance going to live golf than AHL for multiple reasons.
Well, yeah. For those who are listening, maybe it doesn't make as much sense as for those who are watching. But yeah, I think it's definitely been fun to watch this summer league and watch ball out. But that's all we have for tonight. Sunday, a little preview. Unless a big signing or a big trade happens from now until Sunday, we're going to cool off with the basketball talk. The last 2 podcasts have been pretty much full of basketball, and that's good. We know you guys love basketball.
Can't even talk about Baker tonight. We don't have enough time.
Who? Is he going to be third string on his team?
Next year's comeback player of the year, Baker Mayfield, taking the Panthers to the playoffs.
Matt Corral's going to be started by week 8. But, yeah, on Sunday, unless anything really big happens, our plan is to talk baseball, get into the weekend, and it's almost the All-Star break, so we want to kind of go over some things that we've seen and just talk through some baseball. And then I want to get into some football predictions. The NFL is just around the corner, and if there's anything that the 3 of us can get really hyped up about, it's football. We're all big football fans, and we got a lot to say, a lot to talk about. So we'll get into all of that on Sunday. So the plan is baseball and football on Sunday, and then any big news that happens, we'll address that accordingly. But we appreciate you guys being on here tonight with us, boys. Thanks for making time out of your busy schedules. Thank you for not being on the course at 10 o'clock at night. You guys are here with me talking sports. I appreciate that. Everyone, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you, and we'll see you on Sunday, probably around 8 p.m. Central. Be watching for the announcements.